Host was directed by Rob Savage. This is his first feature film credit, and it's currently on Shudder. This film is about a group of friends who get together on Zoom to perform a seance, and when they do, really creepy shit starts to happen in all of their separate locations. This is a very unique movie for many different reasons. For one, it's only 57 minutes long, so technically it's not exactly feature length, and it's certainly not really a short film either, so it's sort of like this new hybrid thing. And with streaming services and the limitations that they don't have, what's to say that we can't get more films around this length? It was also shot, edited, and released during the 2020 quarantine. And the characters in the movie are referencing the COVID pandemic. They're wearing masks if they have to go outside. This entire thing came about apparently because the director put out a short that was like this, and Shudder really liked it, and they reached out to him and said, "Do you have a feature film pitch for this?" And apparently he did. So now we have this movie Host. And it's not like this is the first time that a horror film has been told from the perspective of a computer screen. We've had the Unfriended movies, both of them, which are from Skype's perspective. And there was the excellent film Searching, which wasn't exactly a horror film, but it was told entirely from the perspective of someone's computer screen. So this isn't the first time it's been done, but I would say that it's one of the more effective attempts at it. I think that this movie is actually a lot better than I expected it to be. In fact, I won't lie, when I saw it pop up on Shudder as a new movie, I was like, really? 57 minutes? A Zoom COVID horror movie? Like, because I think a lot of writers and directors are trying to figure out if there's a way that they can make a film during the pandemic or even about the pandemic right now without being in poor taste. And this film accomplishes it because it's not taken seriously. It's obviously a horror movie with ghosts and jumps and doors slamming and people carrying their laptops around hallways when they probably wouldn't be, just because we would rather see the film than just have it be from the perspective of their desk. And so you're kind of able to detach from reality for a moment and experience a film that was made entirely during this pandemic and have fun. And it sort of releases you a little bit from the tension of a COVID movie like that would have been taken a lot more seriously than this. It's also really well acted. All of the actors in the movie are really great. They give really convincing performances, and from what I understand, the movie was scripted, but they were allowed to improvise, and so there's moments throughout this Zoom meeting where it doesn't really feel that scripted. They do a terrific job of making it feel off the cuff. Now, the scares in the movie are nothing that we haven't seen before. If you've seen a Paranormal Activity movie or any of the Unfriended movies, there's nothing here that's going to be new to you. People get dragged out of a room and the door slams. There's pictures taken of things that reveal something that's not there to the naked eye. These are things we've seen many times. But I think Host is a really good comp that I'm going to use in the future for describing why cliches and tropes of a genre will always work if they're presented in a unique way, if they're presented with skill. You know, there are things that we've seen 1,000 times, and sometimes you see it in a movie and you just don't care that the door slammed when someone got pulled through it. But when you actually feel like that person's real and they skillfully set up this moment, it works. Granted, at 57 minutes, it's not very long. There's a extended setup for about 15 to 20 minutes where you're kind of getting into the characters and sort of understanding how they're going to edit this, because that's also a very unique thing this movie has to figure out how to do, is how to present, an edited film based off of a Zoom meeting. And for the most part, it feels very authentic. The cameras go in and out of focus. Sometimes it seems like a director may have preferred that it was in focus for certain moments, but it's not. And perhaps that's just because that's how they filmed it, which adds to the authenticity of it all. And sometimes you might feel that a movie is disposable. You don't really feel that much afterwards. It's short runtime. It's familiar scares. It is a familiar presentation if you've seen Searching, Unfriended, or Unfriended 2. But the characters and the performances and the skillful way that Rob Savage set up his scares really saved this movie for me. In fact, I actually really enjoyed watching it. I admired all of the things they were able to accomplish with their limited space. But if you're bothered by scares you've seen before and you just want to see something new, Host isn't really going to provide that for you. But if you're just looking for a quick and easy scare that might set up your upcoming Halloween festivities, and yes, I know it's August, but I'm already thinking about Halloween because it's the best time of year, then I think Host might actually do it for you. I'm going to give Host a B. Obviously, if this film was in theaters and I paid full price to watch a 57-minute movie and I knew that it was shot and edited as quick as it was, I might be a little more disappointed. But since it's coming out in Shudder and I know the hardships they were under. I know how confined they were as filmmakers, and I know how their options were limited. I think they did the best job they could have. And there's also a few scares that they don't even focus on. Like if you're looking at one of their screens in a image filled with mini screens, you might notice something every once in a while, which I think is really clever. And I love when filmmakers do that. When they don't focus on a scare, but if you're paying attention and you're looking in the right place, you'll notice it. I always find that very unsettling, and I love when filmmakers can pull that off. You guys are the best, and as always, if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.